All right, welcome back. We're excited to be back with another live stream on Thrive in Your Mission. I'm Tavia Sharp, your brand image strategist, and I help experts look the part on the outside so they can start to magnetize the right clients and opportunities to them by showing up on brand. And my co host, Elvira, is about the inner, right? So I'll let her introduce herself and then we'll get into it. We're
Yay,
excited for this
awesome.
topic.
Oh, I'm so excited, Tavia, because we had such a juicy conversation last week, and I think we're going deeper into the, how you feel is what you reveal, because it's all about, how do you look on the outside? How does that make you feel on the inside? And what do you have the courage to reveal? Do you have the courage to be more polarizing? So my work is about helping you get the inside right, having your mindset right so that you can have the courage to speak your truth because you've done enough inner work. You've done work on, healing your nervous system. You've done work on your mindset so that you have the courage to even be like laughed at or, told you're crazy or, whatever, because you know who you are and you're able to continue shining like the star that you're born to be. So yeah, I can't wait to chat about this. It's a very juicy topic.
It's so good. Our last conversation, we really dove into, that courage to be polarizing, right? And what that looks like. And we gave some examples there. So if you didn't have a chance to watch that, please go back and watch that one because it's a really good conversation. And we wanted to kind of continue that in that theme of how, what helps give you the courage, right? Because it's easier said than done. Like just be courageous, just show up and say these things, right? Or speak your truth. But there are strategies that really serve you in being able and support you and able to do that, right? I work on the outer, right, and helping you embody that version of you that is not afraid, right? That you feel like, hey, you know what? This is a little feels a little scary and uncomfortable, but I'm going to do it anyway because you're embodying this version of yourself, right? That is not afraid to speak up. And a part of that is the work that I do, which is there's a term called enclothed cognition. And essentially, what that is like, how you feel and how you dress impacts how you feel. And it gives you that confidence boost. So, what you wear makes you feel a certain way, right?
Yeah.
It helps you be more productive. It helps you be more confident. It helps you be like in action, right? And also when dress a certain way, it could maybe make you feel a little more comfortable or I want to hide, right?
Yeah.
So it has an effect, right? And sometimes we don't think about clothes like that because everybody has to get dressed. Okay,
Yeah.
nobody is walking around naked. Nobody is showing up on social media naked. We hope not. And we have to put on clothes because it's a function, right? It's a function to be in society, to put on something, right? But what if you were intentional about what you put on? What if the intentionality was like, hey, I'm going to put on something that like makes me feel like that version of myself that is the leader, the action taker, that is like the most attractive, smart, sexy version of myself, right? And that gives you that confidence to show
Yeah.
up and be seen, to show up and be polarizing, like we were talking about. So that's the work that I do, which is more of that outer work. And Elvira is going to share a little bit more about the inner, right? Because both of these can work together. And when you do both, it's like
Yeah.
you are going to be on fire, right? So
I love that. So it's called clothing cognition or clothed cognition. What is it called?
enclothed,
Enclosed. Yeah.
Enclothed,
Yeah.
cognition. So enclothed cognition. I know
Wow,
it's a
that's
hard
amazing.
word.
And you just
Yes.
reminded me of something. Yeah, that's so cool. The first time I'm hearing this term with you right now, it's so cool.
Mhm.
And it reminds me because I'm also a professional actor, so I've done some theater, and I remember
Nice.
that when we were
Mhm.
rehearsing, the director, I remember one director saying to me, and when you put on the costume, you're really going to feel like her and you're going to show up differently, right? Because
Yes.
I played, this is so interesting. I played a jazz singer in a Broadway
Mm.
musical called State Fair, and I played Emily Arden, the jazz singer. And so, and it's ironic because today I actually am a jazz singer professionally, but back
Mhm.
then I wasn't. And so it's like art imitates life or life imitates art. I forget which one. Anyway, but the point is that, you know, he would always stress that when I would be up on that stage, I would look like a jazz singer because of the costume that he was having made for me. And sure enough, when I put on that gown, I came alive. I was Emily Arden, right?
Mm.
So it's
Yes,
really cool. So it's connected to what you just said. I thought that was really neat.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
just brought me back. But yeah, definitely the inner work, it just really, really matters because yes, you can do the inner work and be wearing like, you know, a potato sack and you're still going to feel okay because you just love who you are, you know,
Mhm.
in my modality, you know, loving your vibe is about loving yourself, living at a higher vibration, living authentically, aligned, authentic, fully self-expressed so you can make the difference you were brought here to make, right? So it's all about that kind of mindset shifting. And so you can look good in, you know, virtually anything. However, we do live in a world where we are judged for our looks. And
Yes.
when we wear something that we feel like sharper in, you know, using your name, Tavia Sharp, when we, you know, feel sharper and we do get, you know, more of a reception from the world, it just adds to our already feeling good about ourselves, right? So it helps to feel good on the inside, which will show on the outside. But how you're styled, you know, the colors you choose, that will add to that, right? So I like to look nice. You know, I just bought, you know, this shirt the other day. It's pink. It's my brand color. I feel amazing right now, right? So like talking to
Mhm.
you, I'm even more animated, more excited because I'm able to be more me with my
Mhm.
brand colors, with this new style I've never worn before, right? So yeah, does that resonate, Tavia?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when we look good, we feel good, and that resonates out there into the world, whether it's showing up on social media, showing up in person, right? It when we look good and we know we look good, we our energy shifts. It's very
Yeah,
natural, and sometimes we don't think about the that this is connected, but it absolutely 100%. It is,
yeah,
and actually, I'm wearing. I don't know if you can see, but it's like almost like a cape. It's a
beautiful. I
jacket, but
love
a
it.
cape. And
Yeah,
whenever I wear this out, people always comment on it because
yeah,
it's kind of like it looks like a superwoman cape,
yeah,
And so I always think of it as like it's my confidence boost, because I put it
yeah,
on and I know it's like putting on my armor, right? I
yeah,
feel a certain way when I put this on and I go to an in-person event then
yeah,
or I speak on a stage, that people are going to notice, they're going to pay attention, right?
yeah,
And it's not about showing off. Okay, that's not the point. It is about stepping up and not being afraid to be noticed, right? To
yeah,
be seen. That's having the courage, right? And that is half the battle, like we're talking
yeah,
about. So if you want to, really speak your truth, make a stand, be polarizing, like we talked about in our last live stream. Like you got to look the part, you got to feel the
yeah,
part, right? You got to do the inner and the outer work, right? And
yeah,
both of those go
yeah.
hand in hand. Yes, you could do one without the other, like Elvira said, but when you do both together, it's like
Ooh,
you're gonna be like a rocket, and you're gonna just
yeah,
be like on fire, and people are going to notice that way more than you just doing something, right? And that's like what we talk about all the time. And I think of it as like there's like a trend it's going around called main character energy, right? And it's kind of what
yeah,
Elvira you were talking about, like as an actress, right? You step into that
yeah,
character, right? The main character energy is like, well, you are the main character of your life, right? And when
yes,
you step into that role, you got to look the part, you got to walk, you got to talk, You got to act
Yeah.
just like that version of yourself. You have to embody him or her.
Yeah.
And that's when things start to shift and change. Like I've been
Yeah.
watching this show. I don't know if you've seen it yet, Elvira. It's called Wear Whatever the F You Want. And it
Mm.
is Stacey London and Clinton Kelly. And they used to have a show. I don't know if you remember
Yes.
them. And it was a
Yes, I
makeover
remember.
show.
Yeah.
And it was very different because they used to like kind of make fun of
Yes.
people for like what they were wearing. I was like, you should be wearing that. But this show is like totally different. They're like, wear whatever the F you want. And they have people come in to this like studio space and they basically say, like, pull whatever you want, like your heart's desire. Like, what is that like version of you? Like, play dress up, pull whatever you
Yeah.
want. And they have people going, pulling things, putting it on, coming out. And you should see the way they shift in their energy because they were one way and then they go and they put this outfit on and they're like really feeling themselves or not. Some of the outfits don't
Yeah.
work, but it's like you could see the change in
Yeah.
them. And that's what I think about. Like, you step into that main character energy by embodying him or her. And
Yeah.
when you do the inner work as well, it's like, imagine how much more on brand you will
Yeah.
be when you do
Yeah.
this part, right? Hmm.
Exactly. Yeah, because your brand is everything as an entrepreneur, as a thought leader, and the more you can own your brand and its values and be that, that representation of your brand, that main character. You've done the inner work, you look great on the outside. Like there's no choice for, other than succeeding. I mean, the
Yes.
universe just wants to give you things if you do the inner work, if you invested in yourself to look good on the outside. Like success is inevitable, right? So I love this conversation. It's just so empowering. Thank you, Tavia.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we would love to hear if this is resonating for you because I know I talk to many people that share that. Like sometimes it's just feeling off, right? And they
Yeah,
don't know, is it inner work? Is it outer work? Is it both? They don't know what they should be doing, right?
it's
And
both.
that's why we're here. We're here to
Yeah,
support you. We have a community, a Thrive in Your Mission community,
yeah,
and you're welcome to join there. This is a free community for you to come in and share what's going on. Share,
yeah,
reveal yourself and where you're at. And we're here to support you. We love
yeah,
to connect with like minded people, right? Who are
yeah,
ready to thrive in their mission, right? Maybe you feel stuck and we're
yeah.
here to help you. Mhm.
Help you get unstuck and radiate. We have a program called Radiance Unleashed, and if you go to radianceunleashed.vip, you can learn more about it. And yeah, if that speaks to you, come talk to us. If you feel like going to New York City and getting glammed up, after you've done some inner work and healed some wounds and glammed up and photographed in New York City is something that would bring your brand to the next level, which we believe it
Mhm.
does, because if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere, right? Like Frank Sinatra talks about or sings about,
Right.
God rest his soul. And, we do that as well. So we have this community and we also do live events. So yeah,
Mhm.
talk to us, message us if that's something that you'd like to do. Yeah, we plan to do them all over the world. That's the goal. If there's a
Yes.
demand, we're going to do it. So let us know if that resonates with you. So yay.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Yes. Thank you for joining us today. We look
Yeah.
forward to seeing you next time. Of course, feel free to comment below. I'll put the link below for our community as well so you can join us there. And we look forward to meeting you. And we'll see
Bye.
you next time.